Hello, this is Daniel from Steiner Books with author Thomas Meyer, and we're here to discuss the First Class Lessons and Mantras book. Thomas, what will readers find in this book?
To find a meditative path which is fit to our age, which was first only given to members of the high school of the Goetheanum, and have been published already in the 80s and 90s in Dornach, fully available with ISBN numbers, etc., etc. And we made just an English version in a modern translation form with some introduction and some afterword, showing why it is also important that people outside the institutions have free access to it. And it is a unique way of spiritual development, including the meeting with the guardian of the threshold, which you don't find in any other occult movement in that degree. And reactions, well, you will ask for the reactions afterwards. It is an outstanding, important book. You have to work, you can't read it through just like that. And we are happy that the book is out in America, and we will see how fruitful it will be in the future. We have done this.
Could you tell me a little bit about the process of how the book came about? You've mentioned some reasons for why you went for it, but what did it look like from the moment you decided to pursue this project, and what were your steps?
Well, I wanted to have a publication that was not only for members of the Anthroposophic Society, but for anyone interested in the spirituality of anthroposophy. And so we made it in a form, and this is explained in the introduction, that the core of the book is there, but not the link to the institutions of that time when Steiner first gave these lessons. So we edited, that's the only editing change we made. We put certain references to the Christmas Foundation meeting and to the high school of Steiner's at that time into the appendix. We didn't cut any single word, and that gives the book a kind of a universal dimension which it didn't have so far.
Okay, and are there any other areas or things included in this particular edition that if people have, say, a previous English edition, what would they be getting in this one that they wouldn't find otherwise?
They get a history of the class that has not been given so far. And again, Palzer Roditz plays an important part, who was the first class reader at Steiner's time, or the second, but for the longest time. Lidi Koliska was also admitted. And you find a whole sketch of the history, how the class was handled after Steiner's death, including some abuse. And you find quotes by Steiner who said he thinks, almost 100 years ago, that when it gets too political, it leads to political things or little power strives within the society. These texts should be published like all his other lectures. That was Steiner. Mm-hmm. So I quote these in order to show it's fully in accord with what Steiner's intentions were, and it's timely to break through the seclusion fog around it, which I think is not timely anymore, and many people do think like that.
What have been the reactions since the publication of this book?
I would like to restrict myself to the reactions you will find. Anyone can find on Amazon website. There are about 6 or 7 very serious, short comments, all of them very grateful that this material is available. Some of them stressing it's hard work, it's not just wellness, esoteric material, as I call it.
Mm-hmm.
And I find this extremely positive, that out of unknown publics, for me, there come, to begin with, only appreciative voices.
Mm. All right, thank you, Thomas. It sounds like a very interesting book. So this is the First Class Lessons in Mantras, available from Steiner Books in the US.